National Singles Week, everybody, and today we are taking a moment to celebrate are living their very best singles lifestyle. There is a lot to love about it, but for anyone out there that might be looking for some dating tips, a little something extra, this one is for you.
Yes, when it comes to relationship talk, our first guest is an expert. Welcome, Chanel Nicole Scott. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
The queen of relationship talk.
Yes.
We love having you here, but we really want to get into the intricacies of human connection.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
as singles, we've all fallen into those pitfalls. Will you speak to that?
Yeah, so the first thing we need to do before we even consider being in a relationship is tapping into purpose, knowing our God-given assignment and what we have been called to do. So often we attach our value to someone on the outside of us trying to fulfill a void, an empty void on the inside of us because we don't know who we are, right? So once we tap into that purpose, if a relationship doesn't work out, we don't fall apart. We don't lose it. You know, we may be disappointed, but you know, you're like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good with me.
Breaking that codependency.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And a big part of that is what you bring to the relationship in the sense of yourself. We know that people carry trauma, issues from past relationships, family things, all of that. What do you recommend as the best way to address it?
I think the first thing you need to do is have conversation about that, right? Talking about the trauma piece, we have a new card game out. It's Relationships Matter, Navigating Past Pain and Trauma. And what we have done is we have crafted questions where you can have that transparent, candid conversation without being too intrusive, but also getting the information that you need so that you can support your partner. You know, trigger is a word today. We didn't use that word. We were triggered back then, but we didn't use that word. But we have these triggers, so we want our partners to be able to support us through that.
Wow, so this is a card game that you can use in your relationship at any point, just kind of bring them out and go back and forth?
And the questions are specifically about navigating the past pain and trauma. So we get deep down in there. Then while we're on the card game, we also talk about conversation starters for couples on sex and relationships. Because we need to know if that person is into what we're into. And if they're willing to learn if they're not. You know, that's so important because so often you get into a relationship and then you're like, well, I don't like that. And then, you know, then you have the infidelity. So this card game alleviates all of that because we know what we like, we know what we don't like before we even get into a committed relationship.
Yeah, transparency is key in any relationship. And I really would love for you to speak to boundaries because especially in new relationships, it can be difficult to set those. But then later on in the relationship life, things come up. So what do you say to your clients about boundaries?
I say, you know, in terms of boundaries, because I am the voice of the single woman. And so often because we want to be in relationships so bad, you know, we extend ourselves more than what we probably should. We tolerate things more than what we probably should. So it's important for us to voice what we like and what we don't like. It is okay. You know, if I don't want to go out tonight, it's okay to say, I don't want to go out tonight. If I don't want to accept a phone call after 9, 10 o'clock at night, it's okay to say, call me tomorrow. It's important.
Now, Becky's on that 9 o'clock cutoff.
I am. I have no tech land, and anyone who knows me knows that. And it's difficult even in working in lifestyle because things happen, but just even in personal lives,
Absolutely. We got to stand up for ourselves, right? We cannot be so desperate, ladies, to be in a relationship that we overextend ourselves.
Say it again.
Period.
Period. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I know you talk about that and so much more in your best-selling book, so congratulations. Tell us about the book.
Thank you so much. So I have a book. Everything is Relationships Matter. We have the podcast, Relationships Matter, the card game, Relationships Matter, and the book, Relationships Matter, where I get real and raw. I talk about some of my more traumatic relational experiences, but also give practical principles on how to navigate through those experiences so that ladies and men don't make the same mistakes as I did in the past.
Yes. Chanel Nicole Scott bringing the heat.
Yes.
We could talk to you forever.
I mean, we really could.
Yeah, but follow her.
Yes. Follow her. Check out the card game right on the table here. This is amazing. And sometimes people really need just physical prompts.
Conversation starters. Doesn't matter what part of your relationship.
And we don't know what questions to ask sometimes to get to the answer. One of the skills that I do have, I could ask you the same question 20 different times, but I'll get the answer because sometimes people don't respond on the first ask. So you gotta twist it around, right? And so these cards are created to help you get the information that you need.
All right. Thank you so much. For more information, everybody, you know where to go. ATLLiveshow.com. Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you for having me.